it's a bit of a mountain to climb because it's a complete restructure.
Most important step is to understand how your business is performing against that search market that you are targeting.
Because you don't want to cause any volatility.
2023 was one of the biggest year in terms of paid and the changes that we saw in one calendar year, I guess. And 2024 is really nailing down the approach.
Hi guys, we are back. Welcome to the wonderful Have You Heard podcast. I'm joined today by the lovely Jakub Zorawski.
Hello. Oh, dzień dobry.
What?
That's in Polish.
Okay.
You know what? I think we should do one episode where I just answer these questions in Polish and Rob just translated. But yeah, hello.
Well, yeah, we are talking about today some new Google advancements, which are not really that new. They're kind of a shifted approach to say in terms of the way that we've certainly been managing campaigns from a search perspective. Now, obviously, manual search is a bit of an interesting topic area because PMax has become the focus of many of our Google Ads accounts and actually takes up probably quite a large proportion of the spend that we have going through. Yeah. Do you want to run through typically how we would structure PMax campaigns typically for an e-commerce client?
Yeah, sure. So typically, in terms of how PMax is structured across TSS accounts, we would take, product-led approach. We would try to understand the best approach to advertise the full width of the product categories and product offering that the client is selling. And then on top of that, to understand which products they sell the best. What is the best creative approach for the products as well? If there is a creative approach to categories or collections or bestsellers, etc. If there is a creative approach to seasons, and we try to marry the seasonal and the best creative approach with the best allowable cost or margin approach in PMax categorization. Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, then we would split those out depending on product margin and then we could set a return on ad spend essentially that we were trying to target across all of those campaigns. Now, the approach for the manual search side of things has been an interesting one, particularly over kind of the last few years and the developments that we've had with the likes of, target ROAS, target CPA being our main bidding strategies for conversions-based activity. Now, naturally, we've seen consolidating campaigns down fairly substantially has been the best 100%. Way to get the most out of the algorithm. Yeah. But Google are now coming to us and saying, actually, consolidated campaigns, yes, but how are you consolidating them? Typically, we'd always previously done it by product category.
Yeah, by theme is
by
what they
theme,
say.
That's what they call it. But now they're saying
now they're saying
by margin level.
By margin. Well, now they're pushing advertisers to understand what is how much can you afford per category or per theme, and then decide on a theme on an ad group level. So campaigns should be wired towards or segmented towards allowable cost per acquisition, the ideal ROAS targets or margins. That's naturally one of the best approach. Any of the free approaches actually, all of the free approaches are being pushed by Google currently, and then obviously it depends on the client and on the client's own understanding of the business on which approach they should decide with the agency. Yeah,
for sure. And then it really comes back down to that ROAS piece, and we're then assigning a target ROAS to each of those individual campaigns based on that margin. 100%, and I think we've probably had the term thrown around, which is POAS, which is profit on ad spend, which is really looking at taking all of your clients' business costs into account when we're trying to build out those campaigns and formulate the way that we're structuring them.
I think that's very interesting in a sense of the changes. Obviously, to 2023, it has been said on this podcast that 2023 is was one of the biggest year in terms of paid and the changes that we saw in one calendar year, I guess. And 2024 is really nailing down the approach, considering all those changes that happened. That's one bit. And then on top of that, considering, again, how much can we afford to spend and how to scale those accounts so that they are more agile, so that they follow the search trends and search volumes. And then again, on top of that, allowable cost per acquisition, that they still become profitable and still are profitable for the clients. Yeah.
Nice, cool. So have we put this into practice with any clients yet? Have we got any clients that are planning putting it into practice?
Yeah. So I think in terms of the current discussions, as we've said here, the Performance Max approach was really that first area where we could play around with margins and play around with allowable cost per acquisition. Now, historically, search campaigns and our historical search approach would have been single keyword ad group or at least single theme ad groups, or again, at campaign level, we would have decided on themes. Now, rebuilding all of that is going to be a mountain to climb, I guess, but we definitely want to move a needle. There's definitely clients who are more keen to be on the forefront of a change, if there is a change being suggested by any of these paid media platforms that we advertise across. So yeah, there's clients that we are discussing, margin levels. I think that is the most interesting angle currently, where we can segment the whole width of the search market that we target. We can segment it towards high margin and low margin labels, and then target these, run these campaigns again, higher or lower ROAS targets. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, sounds good. So I think in terms of rollout, like you said, it's a bit of a mountain to climb because it's a complete restructure. So in terms of best practice, what would be kind of the best approach in terms of that rollout plan? How would you suggest kind of moving from old campaign structure to new campaign structure?
So first and foremost, the first most important step is to understand how your business is performing against that search market that you are targeting, and then divvy up that search market into high, low, maybe mid margin levels, and then understand how much can you afford per category, and then try to consolidate campaigns into those categories, the margin categories or allowable cost per acquisition categories or ROAS categories. And then on the campaign level, set a target cost per acquisition or target ROAS. Then on ad group level, decide on themes, because these are not going. We understand that messaging is important. We understand that we need to tweak messaging towards the user's intent, towards the content of the website, that is not going away. The quality score is still here. Although it's Google are hinting towards the content of a responsive search ad being, I guess, less important in that setup, but consolidation of learnings, consolidation of understanding what the search can achieve against allowable cost per acquisition or allowable ROAS is by far the most important bit.
Nice. And I think we'd always recommend as well taking a gradual approach when you're moving from one campaign structure 100%. To the other, because you don't want to cause any volatility, because obviously you're putting new campaigns through the learning phase. So I think one of the things that we were discussing before was actually start with your high margin products as kind of the main grouping campaign. You can get that up and running, see how that goes. Because that's the one you've got the most amount of room to play with, essentially, and then kind of take it from there. And then if that's all going well, you can start rolling out all of the other campaigns. But important to do it as a gradual approach. Yeah,
I think with search, the tricky part is the learnings are being kept at campaign level. So if you currently have, 15 search campaigns that are being live in the account, then that consolidation piece is important to understand that you need to scale from, I guess, the lowest performing campaigns to the highest performing campaigns, so that you don't impact your current campaign and performance setup too much at one time.
Well, thanks everyone for listening. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to whatever platform you're listening on. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Thanks very much.